Welcome to the 30th meeting of the Honolulu Liquor Commission. We have some meeting minutes to approve. Can I have a motion?
Yes, Chair. Motion to approve the regular and executive session minutes for the 24th, 25th, and 26th meetings as previously circulated.
I second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the minutes as stated. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The minutes are approved. Calling agenda item number 1, special license application. Application number 24-01471 from Events International Inc.
You just take it up later on the agenda.
All right. We will take that up later. Following of agenda item number 2, application numbers 24-01478-1 to 24-01478-11. Umi Waikiki LLC.
Good afternoon, Chair, Commissioners, Terry Lee, counsel for the applicant. To my right, Chef Vikram Garg, Umi Waikiki. We've reviewed the investigative report and no changes.
Okay. Commissioners, any questions?
This is just for the special, right?
Yes,
For the additional dates, right?
yes.
Okay, I have no other questions.
Good.
Yep, motion to approve application numbers 24-01478-1 to 24-01478-11.
I second.
Been moved and seconded to approve applications number 24-01478-1 to 24-0178-11 inclusive. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The application is approved. Calling out of order agenda item number 7, application number 23-01533, Umi Waikiki LLC. Agenda item number 5. Oh, sorry. Oh, okay, 5. That's right.
Good afternoon, Chair, Commissioners, Terry Lee, counsel for the applicant. To my right is Chef Vikram Garg of Umi Waikiki. I've reviewed the investigative report and I do have a problem with this. And specifically, the investigator indicates that we do not meet statutory requirements. And the reason he indicates that is because he believes that in order to qualify for a restaurant license, the licensed premises must include the kitchen. But the problem I have with that is the investigator is conflating the definition of a restaurant, which clearly requires a kitchen to be connected to the premises, with licensed premises. Now, when you review the statute regarding a restaurant license, it simply says that the licensed premises is authorized to serve or sell and allow consumption of alcohol. That's it. Clearly, Umi Waikiki operates a restaurant, has a kitchen. It's part of its licensed premises. It's part of its leased premises, excuse me. But when we talk about what we want to license, in other words, where is alcohol going to be permitted? We only need it in the front dining room area and a portion of the back area that's contiguous. Because that's where we're going to store the liquor. We don't need the kitchen area to be licensed. Because there's no liquor stored there, there's no consumption, there's no preparation, nothing.
It would never pass through there.
Never passed through there.
So none of your servers are going to grab it at wherever they're going to take it into the kitchen to go grab your stuff, because ultimately, right, if an inspector comes in there
Yes.
and sees that, that's gonna be a violation. And you're
Yes.
gonna be here for a violation issue.
We,
Just
Yep.
confirming
yes.
that
That's
that
absolutely correct.
your client would understand that as we move through this process.
Yes, now. In fairness to the investigators. Part of their concern is that, well. Their jurisdiction only extends to licensed premises. And so if the kitchen's not licensed, how can they inspect it? Because that is a requirement. And so my retort to that is, or solution, I should say. Is just make that a condition of the license. That the commission has the right and authority to inspect the kitchen. And we're happy to sign whatever documentation is required, put in the file that confirms that permission.
Is there a reason why you do not want to have the kitchen included in the license?
Yes, because it's a unique setup because it's part of the Halepuna Hotel. And that area used to be part of the hotel license. And the hotel also uses portions of the kitchen. And so the area that we have exclusive control of the kitchen is sort of an island surrounded by shared areas where we share the use with the hotel. And so it raises the question is, is our kitchen truly, the whole issue about the licensed premises needing to be contiguous. That's the problem.
But for the restaurant that's shared, do they have a license to serve alcohol and thus may include the kitchen under their license?
Well, we're carving that out. There is a pending request, and actually counsel for the hotel is here. There's a pending request to carve out the portion that we're gonna license. But they're not, I'm not sure exactly what area they're carving out, but I think they're carving out just the area that we're licensing.
I would say that we need to decide where the line is gonna be, because if we don't inspect it on your side and then we don't inspect it on their side, there's gonna be this Switzerland hanging out in the middle, so we should probably find out that and some kind of agreement between the two. Are you guys?
Yeah.
Shared.
Caroline, would you mind if I ask the counsel for the hotel here, who's handling the removal of the
Hey, welcome.
reduction of the premises for the
Can you
hotel?
identify
We're
yourself,
switching it
please?
up a little bit today.
No, sorry, I just come. I'm Caroline Napani. I'm the attorney for Halepuna.
Thank you.
Hotel. And we actually have a hotel license. It's not a restaurant. license.
Okay, are you aware of the
I
situation?
am.
Okay, and do you have a idea where that line's gonna be on your side?
The kitchen, we won't serve any liquor in the their kitchen area. We do have a section, a separate kitchen area that will be
So we'll
under
go
our
back to
hotel
Switzerland,
license.
right?
Yeah.
So nobody's claiming the space that's gonna be shared by both, because you guys could be putting things. Say one gets inspected, and the other one puts stuff in there. I'm just,
We won't be using their kitchen space.
Dylan, go for it.
Well, I'm gonna ask someone else to actually speak if they wish to speak. I'm gonna ask if investigator Sato has anything to add to, the investigative report or the floor plan or anything. We're all looking, right? Because this is all part of 281.1 realistically and other sections, 281.
Supervising Investigator Daniel Sato. It's kind of a tricky situation. One part of it is just the hotel's kitchen that's being in question right now. Well, Mr. Terrence Lee is right to some certain extent. We can inspect it only on the hotel side, but it's not anything of the restaurant side that's before you right now. And that's gonna be the tricky part, because if it's licensed under a hotel, I mean, we can't, say that it's part of the restaurant. Because it's a hotel.
The hotel's 24/7, right? Isn't accurate?
Oh, yeah, pretty much.
I'm sorry, we are gonna be removing that kitchen from our hotel license premise.
Is that gonna be a dead space or their space?
So there'll be no liquor.
It'd be dead technically, because they're also claiming they're not going to add it
right.
as part of their licensed
So
space.
it won't
not
be
be
covered
licensed.
under any liquor license.
Right.
Sorry, just to add to that, if it's not covered under any liquor license or potential liquor license, we can't look at it.
You're not gonna inspect it,
Right.
right?
But that's my point is, we'll
No,
give
the-
you permission to do that.
The timeline on that?
Oh,
The process of changing that from the.
Hotel license.
we can submit it tomorrow, our request to remove that area from our license. I have everything ready, we just haven't
Yeah.
submitted it.
Good, okay. Dylan,
So I'm probably, I mean, I don't think everybody wants this portion, but I'm going to entertain a motion to go into executive session for the purposes of to consult with the board of attorneys on questions, issues, and matters pertaining to the board's powers, duties, privileges, immunities, and liabilities. So I request
can I
that.
second it? We're good?
It's been moved and seconded to go into executive session. Okay, we're back in session.
So, Mr. Lee, I do want you to understand, if this does pass preliminary hearings, my inclination is going to be that if it gets to public hearing and we do not have a floor plan that includes a kitchen, I would be inclined not to vote yes, based off the fact, in my opinion, a restaurant definition includes a kitchen within it. I don't think we want to start opening worms of what is considered a restaurant or not a restaurant. But for me, that's my inclination based on the information on the 281.1 that talks about what a restaurant is. And so if it gets past to that point, by the time it gets to public hearing, I'd like to see a floor plan that would have the kitchen included. That's my inclinations.
I understand. May I ask a question? Because, you know, the chef brought a color coded diagram. And so just to help us better understand, can I provide each of you a copy of this?
That would be excellent.
You're welcome.
We have this one now.
And can we have one for the record?
Thank you.
Yes. Well, we can share and you can give.
Oh, okay. I have a smaller copy. So. So the orange shaded area is where the applicant has exclusive control of the premises. And the green shaded area is the shared use between the applicant and the hotel. So if we included the kitchen, which is the center orange shaded area, are the commissioners okay with the fact that it's connected with a non-exclusive area? In other words, it is connected, it's just that we don't have exclusive control of the shared area. As long as the commissioners are fine with that, I don't have a problem, and I don't think Chef has a problem, including the kitchen in the license.
So this part just can't be inspected.
I personally feel it should be included. Like, that's kind of where I'm sitting and feeling and leaning. It should be
The
included.
kitchen,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess the
But not
shared
shared
area,
shared area just couldn't be inspected.
will there be alcohol transferred in that area? So
No,
in that case, you can include it and there would be no issue. I mean, that's the problem, right? Is if you
we
include
keep
it.
coming
then
back
it's-
to that.
Yep.
Yeah, it should be included.
yeah. There is a kitchen here. Oh, no, but this is the main kitchen, right? Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, for the definition, there's a kitchen here, a full kitchen here.
Oh, there's a full
Also-
kitchen there also?
Yeah.
Oh,
There's a full kitchen in that area. The restaurant
the-
area,
on
which
the
is under
left.
control on the left. Right, so we have two kitchens. The reason for the shared area is because it's a passage for other staff to go, which are not employees of Umi Waikiki LLC. But there's a clear-cut demarcation on the floor, which says on the left side where the dishwasher is, the service bar is. So there's no alcohol which crosses that line ever. And in the restaurant, back of the restaurant is a full kitchen area, which is a display kitchen with stoves, refrigeration, everything for cooking purposes. You know, we have a kitchen there too. So we're using both kitchens for the restaurant. I mean, I'm just in terms of trying to explain
Yeah.
how it is. I mean, I understand what the laws are, the rules are, but
And I think from the restaurant side, you were saying that, yeah, that's going to, I'm sorry, from the hotel side, that is included in your license space, the green shared premise.
Correct, we are removing.
But you were moving it.
And you're removing it.
Right.
Yeah, at the plan it's.
as well as the orange shaded area.
Okay, so.
when do we have to remove it? We don't have to remove it.
Who you have to remove?
Okay.
Doesn't really change what we.
So,
We appreciate this.
yeah, this
Visual
is
helps.
very helpful.
So if I'm looking at your colored diagram correctly, right? the purple shaded place that's talking about the restaurant front of house, right? Then you have again, the
orange.
orange checkered boxes that is restaurant back of the house.
Yes,
The one right behind the purple, you're saying is actually a kitchen, that you
Yes.
don't use.
we do use.
Okay, so you use that. And so, but you also need to use the other portions of the kitchen that's covered by the hotel.
We,
Is that what you're saying?
so no, the other portion of the kitchen, which are crossed on there, which is exclusive use by us. But the green part is a passage. The
Right,
rest, the hotel does not use that kitchen. Because for the employees to go to their bakery area, the other areas of the hotel, they use that as a passage. Initially, the kitchen was built not to lease out. It was built for the hotel to use. So they did not carve it out in a way, so for the hotel to operate, they have to, it's basically a traffic flow.
So the risk of your license is that the employees of the hotel could be walking through there with alcohol, not served or under your control.
So there's no alcohol served in that area other than our restaurant on that floor. So if an employee, the only risk is if it's not our employee and they're holding a container of, they're trying to consume alcohol, is the only risk.
Yes.
That's
the
something
risk we're
which we
talking
would
about.
not know.
Yes,
I mean, anybody can, even my employees can do that.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we want a motion or do we want to continue discussion prior to?
I mean,
I think.
I've made my,
Okay.
my understanding to you of what I'm looking at.
Mhm.
That's my opinion. Well, if it gets passed to public, that's what I would want to see in the floor plan. The kitchen included.
The middle part, yeah, the middle kitchen.
I mean, whatever part you're going to
All
have
of it.
your employees working at
Yeah.
as part of the kitchen,
Okay,
because that's what they're going to be. And if they're going to remove that portion of the covered area of the hotel license, right? Then no one's covering that area, which is something that I have more concern about myself
okay.
personally. And so I would like to see it at that point. That's just me.
And you know, I don't have a problem with that as long as you don't have a problem with the fact that it's kind of surrounded by this shared area. As long as you don't have a problem with that, we'll include it.
I think the
Yeah.
issue there is just as we read the statute, of which we have no authority to waive, it's a restaurant means a place which is regularly in a bona fide manner used and kept open for serving meals to patrons for compensation, which has suitable kitchen facilities connected therewith, right? And so, I mean, we understand your argument, but the plain reading of what a restaurant is and what therefore a restaurant license should be, we'd rather go with the simple rather than, and in this case, I think we can go with the simple.
Okay, that's fine. We'll amend the floor plan accordingly.
I'm gonna make a motion to
No, that- no,
approve.
that's all.
Sorry, did you want to say?
She's just worried about whether, you know, the connection of the kitchen. But it's connected, it's just not connected with areas that we have exclusive control. We have shared control, but it's connected.
But,
It's part of our lease, it's just that we share it.
Somebody
but it should be
has to
part of,
own it.
we.
but in that,
please go.
neither one, we can't have neither one claim it. We have
Oh,
to,
no, it's not gonna be part of the license. It's not, the green area is not gonna be licensed by the hotel license or the restaurant license. It's an
that's,
unlicensed area.
that's what we're trying to
Oh.
have this
Mr.
communicate. Hi, hey, Dan.
Mr. Santa, do you want to jump in?
Yes, if it's not licensed by either or and it's unlicensed, then it will run afoul against with the unlicensed area within a premises that has on-premise consumption. So either probably the hotel will get a violation.
Wait,
38362.
right? But we have also.
Yeah, no, if.
Ultimately, that's what we're trying to prevent, is the violations. So we need somebody to own it on their floor plan, please. And it's gotta be somebody, either or. That's how I feel today about it.
But let me just understand, if it's unlicensed by either the hotel or the restaurant, then if there's alcohol in there, then they get a violation.
Who gets it if nobody, who's gonna get it though?
Oh, I see what you're.
So
saying. I-
So the-
yeah,
if
yeah.
the hotel
No one's a
gets the
violator.
violation,
You want it licensed by one or the other.
if the hotel gets the
Got it,
violation,
got it,
they're going
got
to
it,
claim
okay.
it's your place, and then you're gonna claim it's not my place because it's not
We wanna
licensed
get
by me.
ahead of this before
For
all
something
of
like
this
that
comes back
to-
in front of us.
Right.
So if hotel keeps the license in the back area, which is green, so we don't have an issue then, right?
Well, they need to get that settled before
Well,
we
Yeah.
get back to
No,
you.
because they have right now license on that area.
Yeah,
but is the kitchen connected?
Yeah,
That's
that's
gonna be
the
the question.
We can keep the green. We can keep the green as part of our license. They can keep the brown as part of theirs, but the brown
But
is not
you.
connected.
It's connected to your
Right.
kitchen.
So basically, the whole back should be a part of. What I'm understanding is Halekulani or the hotel should have the license, all the green and the cutoff brown area, hotel is responsible.
Commissioner, if I could just interject here
Yes.
that both Councilor Halipuna and Umi can work with administration and licensing so that you don't commit on the record to a course of action and let us try to assist the applicant with this particular issue.
Thank you, Ms. Arai. So I would entertain a motion to,
given the discussion and the spirit of moving this forward to public hearing, I'm gonna move to approve application number 23-01533.
With reservation, I do second that at this time.
okay, and we'll do, we can have additional discussion, so at this time, obviously, you can hear our concerns, you can then come forward, speak with the administration here and hopefully come to some sort of agreement that will work with our
And in that regard, I do want to inform the commissioners that I was just informed during the break that counsel for Zippy's, it was present, he must still be here, Newton Chu. But he told me that the Zippy's restaurant liquor licenses do not include the kitchen. So, if you're gonna change precedent, then, I'm not sure
Actually, what we're
the-
trying, that's what we were talking, we're
Yeah.
actually trying to do that, so not everybody comes back through here.
Yeah, so anyway, I just want to point that out.
okay, and so, Mr. Sato?
Sorry, if the floor plan is gonna be intended to change, it might not meet the mill out requirements.
I'm sorry, could you say that one more
If
time?
the floor plan is gonna be changed, it might not meet out the mailing out requirement. Cause the actual tax map and the shape will change. And it would affect the amount of owners and lessees affected.
Yeah, we'll have to measure that, determine if there's a change.
They can work with the administration.
Yeah.
Why don't we go to?
Okay,
Somebody had something else to say.
If it might be better to continue rather than, cause if it gets approved right at this stage, they're stuck with that floor plan. And they have to mail out to that floor plan. And if it changes at the public, then you didn't mail out to, if
Right.
there's any more persons at the end.
Mr. Ryan, I'm open to continuing it, or do we?
It's the commission's call. I don't know how the applicant's counsel may feel about waiting 1 week so we can confirm that mail out.
Let's continue it for a week.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
the only problem is I'm gonna be out of town next Thursday, so I'll have to have someone else come in and appear, but I can have my associate come up here.
so we have a motion and a second, we need to withdraw that and then go to a continuance.
You can withdraw the motion. Then, yeah. For how many years?
Just 1 week, the next Thursday.
Okay,
Preliminary.
Would that be me?
And if the commissioners would allow me to participate by Zoom, that's gonna be in California.
I don't think we're allowed to do that.
No, we-
Or not, okay,
Under
all right.
sunshine laws.
Okay,
Sorry about that.
all right, I'll have my associate.
Yeah. Okay, so I would,
No, I'm gonna be gone.
say again?
There's a motion on the table.
Right. So can you move to withdraw your?
I'll move to withdraw the motion.
I second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to withdraw the motion to approve the preliminary hearing license. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. So the motion is withdrawn. So now I'll entertain a.
I'll
motion to
move for
continue.
continuance for application number 23-01533 for 1 week.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve a continuance for 1 week for application number 23-01533. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Okay, calling agenda item number 3, application number 24-01517 from Honolulu Festival Foundation.
My name is Keita Maruoka from the Honolulu Festival Foundation.
My name is Nanako Hart from Honolulu Festival Foundation.
Hey, commissioners, any questions? This one's
We
easier.
know.
So this is on the first floor of the convention center, correct?
Yes, sir, that's right.
Um. I didn't see anything listed in there in regards to. So, I mean, I highly doubt it, but if you have someone that does happen to get. Overconsumption and is unable to drive. Are they able to leave their car at the convention center? Have you guys talked to the convention center about something like that?
But actually, this will be the second time we're doing it, and the last time we didn't have that problem.
Okay.
Obviously, we have a security and yeah, so but as for your question, yeah, actually, I didn't talk to HCC, but I can't follow the rule.
I mean, I'll be honest, it's not going to change my opinion of if I support this or not, but I would like you at least to have some discussion with the convention center in regards to if people were to do that or were unable to drive, if they'd be able to leave their car there. And then I would ask that, you know, if this does get approved, that you at least update our administration in regards to what they've said or not said, just so we have an idea. And then, do you have plans to have somewhere where either a ride sharing would be available for people to contact if they needed it?
If they needed it, then we can arrange that too.
Okay, sure. That was the only questions I had. Thank you.
As far as the all ages, are you gonna banded, check IDs?
Check ID and wristband.
Yeah.
That'll be
Okay, is there gonna be any kind of separation from where things are being dispensed and maybe younger people, or is it just gonna be all open?
sort of mixed all over it, but we'll try to separate the area, just concentrate the area of the
Yeah.
alcohol.
It's all in the back corner in one area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
One last thing, do you guys know what your attendance was last year? Because this is the second year you're doing it,
And
right?
then not for the whole Honolulu festival for 2 days, it was like 23,000.
23,000.
That's what was listed here.
All right, that's any questions I had. Thank you.
I'm gonna move to approve application number 24-01517.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve application number 24-01517. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion's approved. Fine. Okay, calling agenda item number 4. You're on. Transfer application number 23-00984 TK World LLC.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I'm Min Young-woo on behalf of TK World LLC. On my right is Satoko Sekiguchi, manager. And no changes to the investigative report.
Commissioners, any questions?
I have no-
I'll move to approve application number 23-00984.
I second.
So moved and seconded to approve application number 23-00984. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The application is approved. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Should I?
Oh, I'm sorry, you have, yeah, no, we're fine.
No.
Oh, yeah. Calling agenda item number 6, application number 24-00539 BSE, Texas de Brazil, Ala Moana LLC. How are you doing?
Good afternoon, Chairman, Commissioners. Devin over here representing VSC Texas de Brazil, Ala Moana LLC. We have no changes to the preliminary report.
Commissioners, any questions?
Move to approve application number 24-000539.
I second.
Been moved and seconded to approve application number 24-00539. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The application is approved.
Thank you very much.
Calling agenda item number 7, application number 24-01476 Cheeseburgers in Paradise Waikiki. Oh,
Good afternoon, Chair, members of the commission, Ms. Rai, Robert Uyoka on behalf of Cheeseburger in Paradise Waikiki. Present to my right, Mr. Nick Stewart, he's the manager. We have no change to investigators report. This is for a catering liquor license for 808 Craft House in Ko'olina. For 21 days, we have a public hearing scheduled for March 7th. So we just wanted to get some additional time just to make sure that we have continued alcohol service. Wanted to thank Daniel Sata for getting this on the agenda today.
No,
right.
Okay.
Move to approve application number 24-01476.
I second.
Been moved and seconded to approve application number 24-01476. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The application is approved.
Thank you so much.
Calling agenda item number 8, application number 23-01250. Helena LLC.
Good afternoon, commissioners and members of the board. My name is Matthew Hatai, member of Humani LLC. To my right is agent Jacob Kahiapo. Yeah.
Commissioners, any questions?
so. The ship is Sand Island access, right? So it's in that Boat Harbor area.
Yes, it sleeps overnight there and operates commercially off of the Alawai loading dock.
Okay, so Alawai loading dock. Okay, so that's does your clientele that you're gonna bring in or have on the ship, are they bused to that area or are they driving?
Usually they Uber from Waikiki or they can walk over.
Okay. Yes, any question? I mean, again, this would not change my decision in looking to approve something like this. If it does get approved, though, the question would be, all that area in that area is all meterized things there, correct?
Parking, yes.
Do you know if that area has like no overnight parking or is it something of that nature?
I don't think so. And we could have the option and the ability to rent a commercial parking spot from Alawai if that were necessary.
I mean, my concern more is only if you have someone that has driven and has overconsumed during a nice cruise or sunset cruise, how they're going to get back, right? Or if their car is gonna get towed because it's left there being a rent-a-car. That's my only concern. I mean, you might want to have some discussion with that area to see how they best could help you or assist you in
So
that.
the Hawaii Prince Hotel does have a parking structure that we do suggest our guests use. And they do have and permit overnight parking.
And
Okay.
catered parking is privately managed as well.
Yes.
So
Okay.
Yeah, we have a contact number.
All right, sounds good. That would have been-
Commissioner, before you take action, could you please ask the applicant to confirm? We had, at the time we posted the agenda, we identified this applicant as being resident at slip G5.
Yes.
Our understanding is that that has been amended to slip F12A. If you would confirm that for the record.
Yes, on the record, we switched from G5 to F12A. And I believe we sent verification of that via the harbor master as well.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And that's the only questions I have.
Move to approve application number 23-01250.
I second.
Been moved and seconded to approve application number 23-01250. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. Ready to go. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay. Agenda item number 9, request number 24-01496. Pacific Club. Oh,
I'm requesting a waiver for self-serve, keg service during our paddle tennis tournament. I requested this last year. It was approved upon a condition of reviewing in which nothing bad happened, so we'd like to repeat this year.
If you could identify yourself.
Oh, I'm so
Okay.
sorry, Amy Dempsey with the Pacific Club.
So I just have two real quick questions.
Sure.
So I know this, when it came last year, we went through it and we did have you come back and it seemed okay. The only question I don't remember if I had asked this last year, is this for just the members that are participating in the tournament, or can it be anyone that's within the Pacific Club itself go over there and get?
Sure, it's an invitational tournament, so it's for members, and there is, during the registration period, guests can sign up that are guests of the members, and then they are given a temporary guest membership number during that time, and only those people can consume the beer while practicing and playing the tournament.
Okay. The only other thing I would state is that if this gets approved, I am going to most likely request that in between your April and your August tournament, that you would come back to us prior to the August tournament and let us know how the April 6th went. Just so that we can keep a good understanding on how often or how well the consumption is and how it's taken care of.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, I'll move to approve request number 24-01496.
I second.
been moved and seconded to approve request number 24-01496 with the stipulation of seeing you in 6 months.
Thank you.
Yes. No, we haven't. Oh, we'll see if they're in the house.
Events International.
Events International in the house. For the No Joke Smoke event. All right.
We will, unless they make a very late appearance, we will reschedule to next week.
Okay. Mr. Mike.
You have to call this stuff though.
Ah, sorry.
I can do the rest, but you have to call it.
All right. Sorry about that. Okay, calling agenda item number 10, Asagio Hawaii Kai, LCV 23-0157.
For the record, Chair Daniel Jacob, Deputy Corporation Counsel for the City and County of Honolulu.
May the record reflect Wayne Lucas is ready for the licensee. We waive reading of the notice and enter a plea on waive reading of the violation. And we enter a plea no contest.
Motion to accept the plea.
Been moved and seconded to approve a plea of no contest, seeing nay, wow. Hearing no nays or reservations, I also vote aye. We accept the plea.
Mr. Jacobs, your recommendation for agenda item number 10?
This violation occurred on October 6, 2023, when the licensee failed to notify the commission in writing of a change in the name of an officer or director within 30 days from the date of election of such officer or director. This is a first-time violation. The recommended fine is $500.
Mr. Luke, any
No,
explanations?
we accept. Fine.
My motion will be to approve the recommended fine of $500 for agenda item number 10.
I second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve a fine of $500. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, the fine is approved. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, calling agenda item 11, Dave and Buster's LCV 23-0149.
Hello,
Hello.
good afternoon, Chair, members of the Commission, Newton Chu. Greetings from the Big Island, here on behalf of the licensee, Dave and Buster's. We waive reading of the charge and plead no contest, or unless you want to hear it from Dave.
No, that's fine. You can go ahead and do that, Mr. Chu. So, motion to approve the, plea.
I second.
So moved and seconded to approve a plea of no contest. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, the plea is approved.
Mr. Jacobs, your recommendation for agenda item number 11?
This violation occurred on or about October 3rd, when the licensee failed to notify the commission in writing of the name, age, and place of residence of an officer or director within 30 days of the election of that officer or director. This is a first-time violation. The recommended fine is $500.
Hold on, Mr. Chu, before I ask you to give an explanation. Mr. Jacobs, is it correct? It's October 3rd, 2022, or
I
is it
apologize.
2023?
I apologize. It is October 3rd, 2022.
Okay. Mr. Chu, any explanation?
Yes, that was the licensee apologizes. It was an oversight, and as soon as it was brought to licensee's attention through council, we immediately got the information and filed it, so it's been taken.
Does anyone know if they are current, I mean, just to check if they're current and have provided information for, anytime after that, because it is like, all the name of the people, right? So.
Sure, I couldn't tell you about the current status, but in this instance, the transfer occurred on October 3rd, 2022. The commission wasn't notified until a year later on October 4th, 2023.
Okay.
I can tell you that it's up to date because we have an application pending, so we updated our application.
Okay. So, Mr. Chu, I am going to make a motion. I know it's going to be costly for your client because ultimately though, it took a year for you to determine or let us know. And so we want to make sure everybody's name is correct on the line. That's there, okay? My motion is going to be to approve the recommended fine of $500 for agenda item number 11.
I second.
So moved and seconded to approve a fine of $500. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, the fine is approved. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Calling agenda item number 12, Ferguson's Irish Pub LCV 23-0148.
Good afternoon, Commissioners, Ms. Harai, Don Murphy, Ferguson's Irish Pub. With me is Kristen Alspeth, our controller. She can explain to you or try to explain what happened.
So before we get an explanation, we need to, you need either to accept the plea, deny the, so first we're going to have Mr. Jacobs read the charge. And then at that point, you'll need to make a, determination of accepting, denying, or no contest. So Mr. Jacobs, could you please read the charge?
On or about August 31st, 2023, licensee failed to timely submit the name of every person then employed on the licensed premise who is registered with the commission or who is subject to registration on the date and in such manner as directed by the commission in violation of Rule 3-82-38.8 of the Rules of the Liquor Commission of the City and County of Honolulu.
So Mr. Murphy, you can either accept the charge, deny the charge, or plead no contest.
Can I accept it with explanation?
Yes, we're gonna, if you either accept or
Okay.
plead no
Okay,
contest, we're gonna
yeah.
give you the ability
Okay,
to explain
great,
to us.
yeah.
So you're gonna accept.
Yeah.
Motion to accept the plea.
I second.
Been moved and seconded to accept the plea, accept. Seeing any nays or reservations, seeing none, I also vote aye. Please accept, is approved.
Mr. Jacobs, can you please provide the recommendation for agenda item number 12?
Again, this violation occurred on August 31st, 2023, when the licensee failed to submit the name of every person employed. They did turn it in subsequently on December 18th, 2023. This is a first-time violation. The recommended fine is $250. However, they did previously receive a warning on August 31st, 2022.
Okay, Mr. Murphy, explanations?
I can explain. I actually did attempt to send it in for 2022 and 2023. 2022, I sent it to the wrong email address for Honolulu Liquor Commission. I inverted 2 letters on the email. I didn't realize it bounced back. And 2023, when I had spoken with, what is the gentleman's name? He had called, he said, send it to him directly. It was Cameron with the Liquor Commission office. When he gave me his email address, I didn't hear the dot between his first and last name. So when I sent it, I didn't realize the dot was missing, and that was rejected as well. So once we received the violation notifications at Ferguson's, I went back through the records immediately, found them and resubmitted and resent the emails that were originally sent so that you had your records on file.
Okay. Okay. So you had said that, sorry, Mr. Jacobs, you had said that they had received something previously, right, where it was a,
Correct. All licensees receive a letter indicating the date in which it's due and then provides the information on how to submit it.
but you said this was our second, right? The
This
first.
this
one
is
they
the
had.
first violation.
Okay.
They were issued a warning on August 31st, 2022.
Okay, so
And
that's
this
the
violation-
2022 one, they got a warning, and then this is this one, okay. Okay. So based on. Okay.
May
So-
I,
Go ahead.
the tickets that we received, we received them on the same day. So for 2022 was received on 12/15/2023, and then the second one also issued on the same day was for 2023.
Okay.
So we received both of those on 12/15/2023.
Okay. All right, so. I'm going to say this, I understand that you messed some things with the email stuff. We do need to do the best we can to make sure we try to get them in on time and follow the emails.
Yes.
I am going to make a motion to issue a letter of reprimand for agenda item number 12, but please understand, we'll be watching to make sure we get them in on time.
Yes.
If it comes back to, we'll be here again and there might be fines at that point. Okay? So that's my motion.
I second.
Been moved and seconded to approve a letter of reprimand. Any nays or reservation, seeing none, I also vote aye. Letter of reprimand is approved. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Calling agenda item number 13, Hawaii Convention Center, LCB 23-0147. Hello, back. All right.
Good afternoon, Commissioner Hong, members of the commission, Newton Chu on behalf of the licensee, Hawaii Convention Center. There's 2 charges, so for the first charge, we would plead no contest and waive reading of the charges. And for the second charge, we would do the same, but I'll save that to when he brings up the second charge.
Okay, so. Is it Mr. Jacobs, can you please for charge 1 provide a recommendation for charge 1?
Sure. The violation occurred on December 8th, 2023, when the licensee purchased or acquired liquor from someone other than a licensed wholesaler. In this instance, they purchased from a retail store. This is a first-time violation, so the recommended fine is $500.
Okay, Mr. Chu, any explanations for charge 1?
Yes, in this situation, we have a former employee who didn't understand the rules at the time. There was a last minute request for beverage items that they did not have on the premise. So being the thoughtful manager, thinking I want to make my customer happy, she went out and got it. And she was reprimanded, no longer employed by us, and everybody's now aware that you only can sell what you purchase from the distributors.
That, I'm actually from the business, and that's like rule number one for anybody to do that. So I'm having a hard time with, I realize that it's not an employee anymore, but that's like rule number one, to not do that. Okay, I'm good, thanks.
Yeah, no. So, Mr. Chair, I mean, I think the other thing with this, because it is, I mean, I know he's that manager is no longer there, but they were a manager, so that would be something I would
There's
suggest.
there's really no wiggle room
Retraining
on
of some
that.
sort
Yeah.
in regards to that, so.
Yes, there was, there's been, I think, the word is definitely out among everybody that, you know, this, you just don't do that. You know, it's, if we don't have it, if you don't have it, you don't have
You
it.
don't, yeah.
I mean, and the hard part, right, is that area, you only have like mom and pop liquor stores around the corner realistically, unless they went all Awana somewhere, right? I'm just saying, right?
It
So-
is unfortunate.
Yes.
It is unfortunate.
Okay. So,
Oh, I think we missed a little bit. So it's been moved and seconded to approve the plea of no contest, right? Or did we do that?
we did that,
Okay. Yeah.
We're doing.
that was done. So
Okay.
now I had asked him to charge. or
I think
how
I'm
much it
messing
is.
up your schedule.
Yeah, you're fine. It's okay.
We haven't done this in a while. My fault.
Adjudications, we're getting lesser and lesser, so there are
Yeah.
shorter amounts of them. Okay, so for agenda item number 13 for charge number 1, I am going to approve the recommended fine of $500.
I do second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve a fine of $500. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, the motion is carried.
For charge 1, so charge 2,
Charge two, on behalf of the licensee, we also plead no contest, waive reading of the charges.
motion to accept the plea.
Okay,
I second.
it's been moved and seconded to approve a charge of plea of no contest. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The plea is accepted.
Mr. Jacobs, a recommendation for charge number 2.
This violation occurred on June 30th, 2023, when the licensee failed to accurately report its gross revenues from liquor sales or to properly complete the gross liquor sales report in violation of the rules. It's a first time offense. The recommended fine is $500. I will note to the commission that the licensee was given a warning on this issue in 2019.
Hey, Mr. Chu, any explanations?
Yes, this violation occurred out of an audit, and when the auditor brought it to the attention of the accounting department for the licensee, they looked into it and immediately found the error, corrected it, filed an amended report, and paid the amount due within 24 hours.
So Levy's a huge.
If you're
operation.
familiar with,
Oh, I am, Chicago, 5 years in the business, Levy.
yes,
So I'm really shocked that went under the radar. That's it, thank you.
So, Mr. Chu, my only concern, right, is I don't know what they're doing for the future, but obviously it happened in 2019. Right? There was one that happened prior in 2019 from what Mr. Jacobs said, and then you had one in 2023.
That was a warning. It was not a violation.
Okay, a warning. Okay. There was a warning. Okay. All right.
Mr. Jacobs.
Yes.
Was the violation raised due to the amended fine?
They conducted a pre-audit. We selected this license for a pre-audit due to its relatively high sales to cost ratio at 15.58. And for the commission's information, it was underreported by 430,000 and some change. That represented 174.17% of its reported GLS. As a result, the licensee, as Mr. Chu pointed out, paid an additional $2,152.
All right. So hopefully we have things in place now that will fix some of these things or this stuff.
yes, we've suggested to the client, they are based in Chicago, they do all the stadiums, I think they did the Super Bowl. They're quite large. And we suggested that our office would be happy to help them file and take a quick look at their gross liquor sales report to check on their margins right away, because that's where what triggers that. So we're aware of that. We can only suggest that. They have a big staff and surely they have competent people in there, but every so often there is, there's room for error and,
Well, hopefully they take your advice, because that way you're here and you could figure it out for them in case they have a bigger problem. But based on that, my motion is going to be to approve the recommended fine of $500 for charge 2.
I second.
Been moved and seconded to approve a fine of $500. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, the motion is carried. All right.
I'm not done yet. No, I'll be back, sorry.
Enjoy your stay.
Agenda item number 14, Hawaii Yacht Club, LCD 24-003. This is where the Commodore comes.
Yeah,
This is the one where we did something where he could have
we scared them.
used the name.
Is this the one where they asked for a
They asked for continuance.
Did they? Okay, I apologize. Thank you to the staff who helped remind me that council for Yacht Club has asked for a continuance. I have no objection.
just two next available, we'll be fine with.
Thank you, Ms. Harai. Okay, calling agenda item number 15, Long's Drugs, number 9182. LCD 24-002.
You're the big gun, huh?
It's a busy day, Mr. Chair.
Worthwhile trip.
Busy
Yeah,
today.
I
Bunch them all
did flag him
together.
out here for Dave and Buster's. I just didn't see that.
Good afternoon, Commissioner Hong, members of the commission, Newton Chu on behalf of the
We're friends
licensee.
now, come on.
On behalf of the licensee, we are gonna plead no contest to this, but we do have some concerns about this.
Motion to accept the plea.
I second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve a plea of no contest. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye, the plea is accepted.
Mr. Jacobs, your recommendation for agenda item number 15?
Sure. This is a first time violation. The recommended fine is $500. This involves the Long's Drugs in the executive center. The violation is in regards to 28141H, which prohibits a licensee from transferring a business without notifying the commission. In this case, Long's placed their license into safekeeping on July 5th, 2022. Subsequently, there was a purchase sale agreement for the premises and all rights associated with the premises on November 1st, 2022. Subsequently, the licensee or the applicant filed for a permanent application on March 31st, 2023. That permanent application is still pending. The licensee also filed for a temporary license on July 14th, 2023, and that was granted on October 6th, 2023. So the violation here occurred when they issued the purchase sale agreement dated November 11th, 2022, and failed to notify the commission of that document, of that sale. The commission first received notice of that document when they filed for their permanent application on March 31st, 2023. With that filing included an addendum to the purchase sale agreement that discussed the liquor commission, but that's somewhat irrelevant in my mind because it was the transfer of the business, in this case, the premises with the contract says all rights associated with that premises, and that's what triggered the notification at that time. So I know Mr. Chu has some explanation. I'll be happy to answer questions.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mr. Chu. Explanation.
Yeah, with all due respect, we disagree with the investigator's report here because just to give you a little history, this is Long store number 1. This is 1954. First Long's in Hawaii. And as a result of, the COVID pandemic and the changing demographics of downtown, store number 1, there was just nobody going to. So in 2022, early 2022, they closed the store. We asked permission to move inventory, share inventory with other stores. When that was done, we put the license in safekeeping because it's an unusual situation, but we actually own that store, the condominium unit there. And after placing the license in safekeeping, the real estate department then goes off and tries to sell the property. I think historically, companies that have a license and they put it in safekeeping is part of the whole mitigation of damages theory, is that you have something that has some value to it. And you allow either the landlord or the next owner the ability to market that product to a new tenant or new buyer so that they can maybe start a business that could use a retail license in this case. Sometimes it's a restaurant, sometimes it's something else, but it's for as long as I've been practicing, it's just what's done if you have the opportunity to do so. We could have we could have canceled license and turned it in, but it has the ability to attract maybe a new buyer and for the new buyer to attract a new tenant. And that's the purpose of this procedure. And to me, it goes on all the time, whether it's a shopping mall, shopping center, as businesses turn over, licenses get placed in safekeeping for this purpose. In fact, we do have other premises that we had to close down due to the downturn in the economy, and those licenses are in safekeeping. And we hope that someday, hopefully soon, somebody will take over those leases and maybe they could use the license, maybe not. If they can't use the license, we will cancel. But if they can use the license, we usually agree, like this one, we agree that we will cooperate with the next tenant or buyer to help them facilitate a license. And that's the way it's been done for as long as I've been practicing here in Hawaii. And so this is the first time I've been noticed, any of my clients have been notified that by following this procedure, that we are in violation by transferring a business. The real property purchase agreement sold a condominium unit, not the business salons. There's no pharmacy in there. There's the new tenant. I don't even know what they do. I think you have counsel for the applicant for that license here to Robert Uyoka, but I think it's not a longs because we don't sell our business. CVS does not sell it. You cannot operate a pharmacy or sell any longs product there. It's whatever I think it's a mini mart of some sort. But there was no transfer of the business, and I'll try to be brief right now, is that we can't transfer the business without your consent. That the whole notice is the application from the new tenant buyer saying, okay, here's notice that we want to transfer. So it's in process. So the fact that we're getting fined for transferring as a done deal, it doesn't legally make any sense to me. And with that, I ask for your consideration of how we view it, and that there's no ill intent, nobody's harmed because the license has been in safekeeping the whole time.
So I'm gonna make a motion to deliberate. So you have to say we're going into deliberation.
Deliberation. Thank you.
Second.
Okay, thank
Okay, ready.
Okay. So. Thank you for the time for us to deliberate. Mr. Chu, you kind of stated it yourself in the beginning. The license has value to your client. That's why they kept it. That's why they did the things. Ultimately, the license is in their hand. They could have, instead of putting it in safekeeping, canceled it if they didn't think they were going to use it, or try to offer that as part of a reason to take that space or get that license or take that area. You also said you guys owned it, right? So you were in control of the realtor in a sense of who they were looking for and things like that. So with our view, or my motion is actually going to be, because it has value and you guys know it has value, I'm going to approve my motion is going to be to approve the recommended fine of $500 for agenda item number 15.
I second that.
It's been moved and seconded to approve a fine of $500. Any nays or reservations? I also vote aye. The motion carries. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Calling agenda item number 16, Outback Steakhouse, LCD 24-0001. Outback Steakhouse.
Put up.
Need someone to-
They all laughed, right?
No. You want
Okay.
to
All right.
All closing doors now, so nobody can use their gift cards either.
Default.
I don't know, he's got to ask that, right?
Yeah, so I'd inform the commission that the licensee was served a copy of the hearing notice that was initially scheduled for January 19, 2024. It was received at the licensed premises by the manager. They would have received emails in regards to today's date. I asked that the commission enter a default against the licensee.
Motion for default judgment of agenda item number 16.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve a default judgment in the matter. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion is carried.
Do we, Mr. Jacobs, do we do the stuff here? So what is your recommendation for agenda item number 16?
This violation occurred on November 30th, 2022, when the licensee failed to timely submit the name of every person then employed on the licensed premises. To date, the licensee has still not submitted that document. This is a second time violation. It's a recommended fine of $350. The first time violation was on October 30th, 2020, in which the licensee received a letter of reprimand.
Okay. My motion is going to be to approve the recommended fine of $350 for agenda item number 16.
I second.
So moved and seconded to approve a fine of $350. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, the motion carries. Okay. Calling agenda item number 17, Round Table Pizza LCV 23-0156.
Good afternoon, commissioners. My name is Hunter Parker, representing Roundtable Pizza Parker Inc.
Mr. Jacobs, can you please read the charge?
On or about November 30th, 2022, licensee failed to timely submit the name of every person then employed on the licensed premise who is registered with the commission or who is subject to registration on the date and in such manner as directed by the commission in violation of Rule 3-82-38.8 of the Rules of the Liquor Commission of the City and County of Honolulu.
Mr. Jacob, before I continue, it is November 30th, 2022.
Did I do that
correct?
again?
No, I'm just making
Yeah,
sure
okay.
it's written here.
November
You may have
30th.
said it. I just want to make
Okay.
sure.
The violation date is November 30th, 2022.
Thank you. Mr. Parker, you can accept the charge, deny the charge, or plead no contest.
I accept the charge.
Motion to accept the plea.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept a plea of admission of the charges. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The plea is accepted.
Mr. Jacobs, your recommendation for agenda item number 17, please.
Before I begin, I will let you know that the document was submitted on December 6th, 2022. So shortly after the deadline. This is a second violation. The recommended fine is $350. The first violation occurred on November 30th, 2020, in which the licensee received a letter of reprimand.
Mr. Parker. Any explanations?
I thought so. I opened up my own restaurant in 2021, and I thought I had submitted both at the same time. Unfortunately, I only submitted one for my restaurant and not for my family's restaurant. And when I found out that I had not done it, I tried to do it as soon as possible.
So I understand you were opening your restaurant, but I also think that we do need to have some thought processes going in because you had one that happened also in 2020.
Yeah.
For, I'm assuming this restaurant or your this family restaurant versus your personal one.
Yeah,
And
that's,
so,
I went in, that's when I first took over the store, was 2020.
okay. So, I mean, finding some way to make sure we have everything plotted out to get it
Right.
done on time, because those times come up really, really quickly.
Yeah.
And obviously they're in a time period of the holidays and
Right.
you're gonna be busy and things like that, so.
I do have a manager now that has been there for a few years now, and it's his responsibility to basically take care of that.
Okay. Okay. But again, right, I mean, just so you know, right, we need these things on time, and so it is hard in a sense, but we will be, you know. It's gonna cost, because we need to know that.
Yep.
Okay, my motion is going to be to approve the recommended fine of $350 for agenda item number 17.
I second.
Been moved and seconded to approve a fine of $350. Any nays or resolution? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Um,
I'll let the commission know that it appears to be some misunderstanding that today is a contested case hearing for the next agenda item. It is not. It was a first read.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, great. We're getting all prepped up.
Good afternoon.
I was startled when I was told and found out that that was wrong.
Good afternoon, Chair Hahn, members of the commission. Bill Harrison on behalf of YKB, and to my right is the president of YKB. We'd waive public reading of the charges in this matter, and my client's going to enter a no contest plea as to each of the violations.
Okay, so just so I have it,
All six.
just so I have it correct, sorry, your last name again?
Harrison,
Mr. Harrison, so it's going to be no contest for charge 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6.
that's correct.
6, correct?
Correct.
Commissioner, we could probably address all of them at one time.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go through
Sure. Of
saying
course.
they're going to be this for all 3 of them. Then I'll request your recommendation for all 6 of them at the same time, so we can do them all at one time. So motion to accept the no contest plea for charges 1 through 6.
I second.
Been moved and seconded to approve a plea of no contest for charges 1 through 6. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The plea is accepted.
Hold on 1 second while I get my laptop ready. So for charge 1, Mr. Jacobs, your recommendation for charge 1?
Sure. Well, charge 1 involves the license's failure to have a duly registered manager on the premises. And this occurred on January 5th, 2024. This is licensee's first violation. The recommended fine is $500.
Okay. Mr. Jacobs, your recommendation for charge number 2?
Charge 2 in regards of physical alteration that was made without commission approval. There is adding of stairwells and I think some doors as well. This is a first violation. The recommended fine is $500.
Okay, Mr. Jacobs, your recommendation for charge 3?
Charge number 3 is in regards to the licensee's failure to disclose every person named in the license application and their felony convictions. This is a first violation. The recommended fine is $500.
And Mr. Jacobs, your recommendation for charge number 4?
Charge number 4 is in regards to the licensee's failure to have a current copy of the rules available on the license premise. This is a first time violation. The recommended fine is $100.
And then your recommendation, Mr. Jacobs, for number 5?
Charge 5 is for licensee's failure to display the shelf price for each brand sold liquor in the licensed facility. This is a first time violation. The recommended fine is $100.
And Mr. Jacobs, your recommendation for charge number 6?
Charge 6 is in regards to licensee's use of a trade name that was not approved by the Liquor Commission. This is a first time violation. The recommended fine is $350. The total of these 6 violations is $2,500 recommended fine.
Okay.
$2,050. I apologize.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so Mr. Harris, we would have, do you have explanations for any of the charges 1 through 6?
Well, we're working on all the violations. I just got involved. We did correct violation number 4. She has rules now on the premises. As to violation number 2, charge number 2, working with the architect, we were told initially that these matters are all grandfathered in, but we're gonna confirm whether that's in fact correct or not. And if it's not, we're going to do whatever we need to do to correct that violation as well.
Okay. Okay. So. Okay. Go ahead.
All right.
Okay. Sorry.
It was pointed out to me on the application, the licensee who's present today is the only owner on that license.
I don't know if that's correct. But I'll leave it up to.
Yeah, I'd like to have Daniel Sato speak to this.
Yeah, please.
Can I swear you in?
Sorry.
Sorry. Do you swear that the testimony you give at today's hearing will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Supervising Investigator Daniel Sato.
Yeah, right there.
Three names. So there's 3 owners.
There's not, these are not.
What's AA?
Residents.
Oh, okay.
She's a sole.
But you want to testify as to?
Okay, regarding charge number 3. On this actual license for YKB Inc. The sole principal and stockholder is Young Kim. And to which the report states that she is a convicted felon. There's no other principals on that license or stockholders.
And Mr. Sato, that precludes the person from having a license. Is that
Correct.
correct?
Very much so.
If that's the case, and that's not my understanding, we would withdraw our plea on that charge and ask for continuance to set that matter for hearing. That's not my understanding. So.
Okay, so. Okay. I think once you accept charges and pleas, right, they cannot be changed. They can't.
Yeah, as long as you take action as a.
Okay, as we take action as a board. Okay, so. Okay, hold on now.
You withdraw the previously accepted, please, for 1 through 6.
Okay, so we would, yeah, okay. So we would have to withdraw all 6 of them or just for
Just
3?
Just
3.
Just 3? Just 3, all right.
Okay, so.
I have no objection.
Okay, so my motion would be to withdraw my motion to accept the plea of no contest for charge 3.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded to withdraw the plea of no contest for charge number 3. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The plea is withdrawn.
So then
And-
you are then saying you're going to plead not guilty and want to come back for a contested case for charge 3.
Only on
correct?
charge 3, right?
Only charge 3.
That's correct.
Okay. Oh, this back there.
Motion for that.
Hold on, yeah. I just gotta write it down because I'm gonna get lost. Deny.
And there's verbiage
Contested,
that
yeah.
has to be provided.
So, motion to. Motion to accept the plea to deny and return for a contested case hearing for charge 3.
Second.
So moved and seconded to accept the plea of denying of the charges. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The plea is accepted.
So Mr. Harris, there is some verbiage we will read. For you, since you want to return. So since you have denied the allegations for charge 3 and wish to return for a contested hearing, there are a few procedures that the commission requires you to follow. These instructions are also posted on our website and will be contained in a notice of hearing that your client or you will get. First, 7 days before the contested hearing, both the prosecution and the licensee must disclose to each other their proposed exhibits. Exhibits that are not timely disclosed may not be considered at the contested hearing. Second, the parties must disclose to each other the names of all witnesses and the proposed testimony of each witness 7 days before the contested hearing. Witnesses that are not timely disclosed may not be allowed to testify at the contested hearing. Third, each party exhibits must be uploaded to the Liquor Commission's Google Drive by 4 p.m. on the Wednesday before the contested hearing. Information on how that can be accomplished will be provided to the parties and will be available on the Liquor Commission's website. If you have any physical evidence that cannot be uploaded to the Google Drive, please be sure to let both the Liquor Commission and the other party know. As a reminder to each party, personal information such as medical information, social security numbers, birth dates, or bank account numbers must be redacted by the parties whose exhibits contain that information. Okay, I mean, you'll also get a
Yes.
notice in the mail.
Got
that
it.
Say all of
Okay.
that. Okay. So going back for charges 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. This does you or your client have explanations for any other of those charges?
No.
Okay. Okay. So, Mr. Harris, I want you to make sure your client understands and you're just getting involved in this. There's a lot of these violations that have occurred that we do take very, very seriously.
Can I ask one quick?
Yes.
Mr. Harrison?
Yes.
Has your client owned a liquor establishment before and run and operated one?
All of her family members have owned establishments for the last 40+ years.
Okay.
Okay. So, again, I wanted to say that some of these violations are, I mean, out of most of them, I mean, for me, the leastest one is the physical alteration. I mean, because that happens when you buy a building or you determine this, and this, right? But not having a manager, not having not having the liquor rules and laws posted, all of these things are pretty major for us. I mean, your client needs to know that these things gotta be corrected and things will have a problem. I mean, because if you come back and these things are still there, there's gonna be issues. I mean, we don't want to do it again, but that's just going to be a problem.
Understandable.
Yeah, we've got an approval for the name. For the external sign,
Sorry, what is that? I mean,
charge 6.
yeah, I mean, licensee use the trade name without.
Instance approval.
Oh, so yeah, that'd be obviously the question, right? Have they submitted approval to use the trade name to the commission?
All these have not been corrected as of yet. We'll work
Okay,
on it. I'll
okay.
work on it.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so I'm gonna go individually, so that way we'll calculate it after, because I'm not gonna be
15,
able, you know. We have the guy that has the numbers there, but I'll go through each one. So for charge 1, my motion is going to be to approve the recommended fine of $500. Or charge number 2, my motion will be to approve the recommended fine of $500. For charge 4, my motion will be to approve the recommended fine of $100. For charge 5, my motion will be to approve the recommended fine of $100. And for charge 6, my motion will be to approve the recommended fine of $350. So you said that was
For $1,550.
for a total of $1,550.
Correct.
Isn't it 1550?
Yes, I said $1,550.
Sorry, second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve a fine of $1,550. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion carries.
In the setting of the new hearing date,
You will get all of that information.
Yeah, you'll work generally directly with the deputy corp counsel who will be handling that adjudication to come up with a good date.
okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners.
All right, thank you. Good luck. See you around.
I think I'll be back.
Maybe
Just yet. This is.
Not-
I think I asked one
All
more.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kim. Okay. Liquor Commission, agenda item number 19. Discussion of process and procedures outlined in agenda. So the purpose of this item is to go over our future discussions of items of process and procedures. Certainly, some of the items that we've done so far include the licensing process, which we'll review in the next section. We have an overview that we would want to discuss in terms of our organization, statutes and rules that we will be potentially looking at. In terms of mission comment, providing declaratory judgments, how we do fees, budgets, and fines. And the purpose of this is to discuss with each of you in open session, because that's the only time we can, any items you would want to put on this agenda for processes discussed in the future. Commissioners. I'll take a stab at it. So like one of the things that we did before with Mr. Sato in terms of providing us an overview of the licensing process, we receive our reports all the time of the licensing report. So I'd like to do a follow-up on that to go over each of the types of reports and what the sections mean and what are the things that he thinks that he should highlight to us when we do that type of analysis. And so if there are other issues like that, that's something for us to discuss.
Okay. I'm taking a stab at it. I mean, I think I would like to see or have some type of overlay of what people are intaking and dealing with in the front as we see that process. So we can help better get education or support or whatever we need within that first group of people that our licensees are going to be coming to see, whether it's to get a license, to get a special, or to do any of those things.
Customer service.
Yeah, I mean, something in regards to that, on how that process works. So we can better be able to help in those areas. Whether that's to get education through our education, whether that's to work with IT, whether that's the rulemaking, I mean, whatever it might be.
That's true. Because that's where the major bottleneck.
They're actually trying to do it a different method currently, so it's in the works. There's a beta system at the moment.
Daniel reported on that when he did his presentation.
So I just think it's one way to work toward.
Yeah.
They're the first people that see our licensees, then become, whether it's the investigators to do for the license, whether it's someone else or anything like that. So that's just something. Some information I'd like to be able to process to know what area, because they're our first line. Of people that will deal with our guys. Okay.
And so I wanted to get that on the agenda so that we could start to talk about this item, and that when we bring it up in the future, we will have kind of new items. We'll probably try to schedule training on at least some of the items on this agenda in the future. Okay. Can you bring up from the package, the board packet, the last item for agenda item number?
On you.
I have a question for
Oh, go ahead.
action or tasks for the agency.
No, this is only a task for the other commissioners at this time to figure out what they would like for us to then therefore as administration to
Put it on the agenda. Got it.
All right, thank you.
Greatly relieved.
Okay. Mr. O. Do you think thank you. do you think you could bring up from the packet agenda item number 20? So the purpose of agenda item number 20 is to define an area of our website so that when we have discussions and we want to reference those items, as some people mentioned, we have precedents and it's very hard for us to find. And so in this kind of tabular format, we can look at different hearings and find the item that we would have, and we would make this information available to the public. So Mr. O, if you could click on the link for 2024-25, yeah, Introduction to the Liquor License. So we have a title, and then boom, it should jump into the section of our hearing where we actually discussed it. And so if we need to remember what we were talking about, we can go to that section and kind of give a summary. If you could go back to the agenda item. And so one of the other ones is we, made an invitation for public input through operations and procedure review, declaratory rulings, and petitions for adoptions of amendments or repeal of rules. And so one of the things that, in fact, I'll probably add it to that agenda item, is the process as we go through with the permitted interaction group on the rules modifications, right? We'll have a process for that. And when we discuss it, we should probably put it in here so that the public can reference it in terms of the process that we'll be working on. The other item that we had there is we had requests for modification to temporary licenses that has now come up multiple times, and we've kind of had some discussions in terms of how we would utilize our discretion in terms of reallocating temporary licenses or not, depending upon whether the time frame had passed or not. And so now we and the public will have access to this reference of a hearing where we have this discussion. And so I would entertain a motion to approve this section of the agenda to be published on the website as a document of the commission.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve publishing this agenda item on our website as published in the agenda packet.
Okay.
All right, we're almost done. Okay, Mr. Patilos.
Good evening, commissioners. This evening now. Sal Patilos, Administrator of the Honolulu Liquor Commission. Just a couple of things that I'd like to share with you. The agency participated in the City and County Honolulu one-day hiring event, which may very well be a misnomer because it was a two-day event. They had, and our staff, Ali Hirayama, Pandy Lagapa, and John Lynn Calvi went to that event and basically interviewed 19 people on the first day and 15 people on today. And the idea here is to expedite the hiring of office assistants, which we need a couple of. And with the number of interviews, I know there are several people that are of interest to us. And so I don't know whether or not we've got to the point of providing conditional offers yet, but that would be the next step for us. And hopefully we're not, we've acted in a sufficiently quick manner so that they would actually consider working for us rather than taking a position elsewhere. It's one of the things. Additionally, a conditional offer has gone out to our chief investigator candidate. I don't know what the response has been, but that's out there. An item that would be an interest to you was that we did have LGBTQ cultural humility training yesterday. Commissioner Hollinger attended the morning session, Commissioner Martin attended the afternoon session. And also several individuals from DHR attended as well. And also a member of Council Member DeSantis team attended. I think it's good for us to have that kind of training. We have a big tent. We want to make sure that whoever we deal with in that tent is treated with respect and dignity when we interact with them. And I think this is a good first step to in our efforts to do that. What I did also want to say is that I really do thank Hawaii Health and Harm Reduction Center for providing that training to us. I think it was really helpful for us to understand some of the things, some of the areas of concern for them, as well as the community. And hopefully, like I said, it's the first step, and then hopefully another arrow in our quiver as we try to deal with everybody in a respectful way. One thing that they did bring up was the fact that they were very surprised that there was a link to their video in terms of naloxone, and in terms of the naloxone training that they provided. They said they requested whether or not we would be interested in partnering with them and providing that kind of training to licensees. I know it's out of our normal bailiwick, and it's not really liquor, but there is an ordinance that requires license several license types classifications to have naloxone on the premises, and their idea was that perhaps they could partner with Honolulu Liquor Commission and provide training to licensees. I don't know if that's something that you would consider.
Absolutely.
And I don't know whether or not there may be some issues about liability and so on. So, but they offered it, and we do provide a link to the training.
Yeah, I would love that. That's a great idea.
I think as long as Corporation Council is agreeable that we can use them and put them for that naloxone training, I think it's wise to use them, because that also gives a tie for the education. We're also trying to prove and get out there that everybody deserves dignity, respect, and how can we provide that so everybody sees it. It also ties that to that, because they will get that from them, as well as, they may say, well, you can train some of our people in this. And so, but I'm not sure how that works. Sorry to say.
I guess we'll consult with Corporation Council as to the issues that may be involved in a partnership to provide that kind of training.
You can take it under advisement. She doesn't have to speak.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
The idea would be for you to look into it and provide us or provide administration with guidance.
Have to send a request for legal services question for.
Okay.
To consider.
All right.
And with that, open to questions.
The training yesterday with the 2 sessions, was that a mandated training session?
No, we did not mandate it simply because we had some individuals who were not going to be in the office. I mean, for example, the 3 individuals who went to the one-day hiring event. Additionally, we had someone in enforcement who was on military leave for training during that time. Additionally, we have several people who are on leave right now. But what we did have an ability to do, and we thank the H3RC for this, is the ability to record the sessions so that we may provide the training to individuals who had missed it. So our intention is to provide it to everyone in the department. It would have been really nice to have everybody attend yesterday, but we knew that couldn't happen, and so we made other arrangements, and hopefully they'll be able to provide those to those who missed it.
Okay, good. Thanks.
I have a question statement. There was a bill that we would potentially want to make a recommendation on that's outside the scope of liquor. This was on a constitutional amendment that came up. Is that something, can you discuss a bit about the process for the commission to endorse, recommend legislation?
My understanding is that for the agency to be able to support or not, to put actions to be taken by the commission to approve doing. You know, and so I think that that's an action that you may have to take. It may have to be placed on an agenda so that the discussion about that matter is made public.
Any other questions?
I didn't have a question, but I do want it to put on the record. I do think that the training that took place yesterday was a great first step. But I also think that we need to look and see if that needs to be done yearly in a way of progressing it through more and more and more as it grows. Because I'm not sure how we would do that, but I mean, ultimately, I think it's a good beginning, but we still need refreshers.
Yeah, and in my discussions with Kanane and Andrew and Maddie, it's clear that they also provide a more in-depth training, and we want to pursue that, we probably can. And it's just a question of seeing whether or not we can cover enough time so that staff could take that training. But there is additional training they provide, and more in depth as well. So that's we'll take it under advisement and see what can be done.
Thank you.
Is more being done upfront in the hiring process to ensure that situations like we've run into don't come again? So I know we have ongoing training.
Right.
Is that like part of the onboarding process for new employees? My question is, even before they get hired, how do we I don't know if screen for that is the right word, but
I'm not really understanding the question. I mean,
Let me see if I can.
Go ahead.
So
Go ahead.
I think
Make
what
that explain.
Commissioner Sakamoto is asking is, so we've done the LGBT plus training that was yesterday. Is that maybe not an exact training, but the slideshow or the slide type thing, is that part of our onboarding packet process of training for oncoming LC1s or anyone coming into the office?
Part of the reason why we created video of it was to be able to provide it to people who come on board as part of the training program that's been created for LCIs when they come.
I know it's a tough one, so good, you can go through all the training. I think my sense is how do you understand, or what controls are in place to tell you that, okay, we did the training, but it's not really helping, or we did the training and it's really helping. That you don't have to necessarily answer that, maybe just a comment. It's a tough way to have controls.
Yeah, I think it's part of the things that we have to do is see whether or not the training that's provided, and it's a question of talking to individuals about whether or not the training is effective and what can be done to improve it. Like, for example, the reason for going to a more formalized training schedule and a program was a comment from one of our licensing investigator, liquor control investigators, to say, hey, we could benefit from a more formalized training program. So we're trying to do that, and hopefully the candidates and the individuals who join us are comfortable enough to provide input as to how we can improve training moving forward.
What sends a clear signal that we take this very seriously?
I think this is the first step again, as to whether or not we can you know, and as we move forward, try to make it better and more understandable, so that the lessons learned are inculcated with among our employees.
Good job with first step.
Thank you.
Yes, all right, we're adjourned.